Welcome if this your first time on the channel. Today we listening to Stephen A. Smith go in on media and how they covering the LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith situation. Make sure you subscribe if this your first time. Here, click that like button. Let's go.
My issue is with LeBron James.
Right.
And I just want to say for the record, LeBron James is full of it. And in this particular instance, as it pertains to his son, he is a liar. And he went on national television today and he lied again. You see, when he approached me while I was sitting courtside at that game against the New York Knicks, when he rolled up on me, I didn't know he was going to roll up on me.
Right.
I had no idea. But when he said what he had to say, I was in no position to give any kind of retort without making a scene. It was during the third quarter. It was fresh out of a timeout. It was him walking to the basketball court. It was on national television.
Yep.
The cameras were rolling. And had I done something, what do y'all want me to do? You want me to act? You want this to be a reincarnation of Chris Rock and Will Smith?
Nah, we don't want
And let me state for the record that while we bring up that, let me assure you it wouldn't have gone down like that. I would have gotten my ass kicked. Because had that man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him.
Ooh.
Immediately.
Okay.
That I'm not going to tolerate.
Stephen A. say he would have swung
But I knew
on
he
him.
wasn't going to do something like that. There was no fear in my mind about it. It was shock.
Right.
Because as I have repeatedly stated, I was not talking about his son. I was talking about him. And whether it's the video that you saw him a couple of days later after that incident when he was talking to Richard Jefferson, my colleague at ESPN, before an ABC game in Boston when it got blown out that night by the Celtics, or in the aftermath of it, including Pat McAfee's show when he talked about me getting personal and taking it beyond basketball, I'm getting to a point where I'm getting very annoyed at people who cover the game of basketball, who cover professional sports, pundits out there, including him, his inner circle, his family members, and everybody else included. When are y'all going to ask him or hold him accountable for the truth?
Facts.
I have not been talking about Bronny James.
Facts.
I have not, as LeBron James accused me of doing to my face, been shitting on his son. I clapped back at D. Wade and Melo, two brothers I love dearly, when they were talking about this, even though 99% of the stuff they said was right. It was not clapping back at his son. Your second round pick, 55th overall, there's been plenty of second round picks that have to work their way up through the ranks before getting to the pro level. Me pointing that out about his son and talking about how his son has been pushed to the forefront, thereby put in a line of fire for folks in the media to come at him, is not denigrating his son.
Facts. And the rest of the media won't say this. Nobody. Pat McAfee interviewed Shannon Sharp interviewed LeBron and didn't say nothing. It's bigger than Stephen A. Smith. I get a lot of people don't like Stephen A. Smith for whatever reason, right? Don't know him personally, but don't like him. It's bigger than him and LeBron. LeBron is trying to silence media. That's what it's about. You got to agree with him. You got to say he the GOAT. You got to say, hey, his kid is a great player or something like that. I don't know what he want, right? But he said his kid was better than 50% of the league. Bronny's not. What do he expect? People not to say anything? We know Bronny is in the league because of you. That's what LeBron want. He want nobody to say nothing. And Stephen A. didn't bow down. That's what it's about. Stephen A. is one of the biggest people in media, and he's not bowing down like the rest of the media people is. Pat McAfee, Shannon Sharp, they won't say nothing bad about LeBron. Nothing. These dudes can't even criticize LeBron because they know how LeBron played. If you criticize him, now you might not be at the Laker game. Now you might not be able to cover his game. He's going to use his resources to basically try to remove you out of media because he wants this narrative of him being the GOAT to just be 100% everybody agree with it. But it'll never be like that because he's not the GOAT. He's just not. So salute to Stephen A for saying something about the rest of the media who's just been quiet or they siding with LeBron. Stephen A did not dog Bronny. It's other people in media that did. Stephen A didn't. He said, yo, LeBron, this is your fault. And it is. Bronny could have still made it to the league as a junior if he would have came out of college. The reason Bronny is there early is because of LeBron James wanted to play with his son. So it is LeBron's fault that he got Bronny in the fire to be criticized so much. Because Stephen A never criticized him when he was in high school or in college. That didn't happen. So it's like, man, people just being biased. And I'm glad Stephen A standing on this square. Y'all let me know. What do you think about media not saying nothing? All of the rest of the media is on LeBron's side and they just agreeing that Stephen A shouldn't have said nothing about his son and dude in the NBA. He didn't say nothing personally. Like, come on, y'all. Y'all stretching it to be on LeBron's side. Put it down in the comments. As always, if this is your first time here, make sure you sub to the channel. Check out the other content. Click that like button. Y'all be easy. Be safe. Peace.